What up, everybody? Amir here, owner of Rappin' and Snackin'. Recently, we all got the news of the passing of one of hip-hop's greats, one of hip-hop's best-selling artists, one of the most recognizable faces and voices in hip-hop history. That would be DMX. Really sad news. I grew up, and I'm sure a lot of people did, with DMX's voice on radio. DMX's voice just on many playlists, seeing his videos on TV, and then, even throughout time, seeing his interviews being posted, some of his great quotes, etc., of his lyrics or interviews, and just so many people he's touched. So it's definitely a big blow to hip-hop as well, to the music community and people in general. He's touched people far more than hip-hop. He's acted, he's done a lot of stuff. He was a great entertainer. So, it was sad to hear of everything that did happen, and especially reading one of his books, I'll show later in this video, you get a big glimpse of who DMX was, and the tough things he went through as he grew up and lived his life. And I'll show that book a little later in this video, but it's very important not to judge people, and to, you don't know what goes on in people's lives. So big rest in peace to DMX. Sorry to his family, his friends, people who knew him. Just one thing before I get into this video, he made it, it's a reminder that it's okay to be vulnerable. He had prayers on his albums, he talked to God, he was very open. And for someone to be that rugged, that, rough, etc. on the exterior, he made it cool to have, the interior to show it to the world. And that's one big thing for DMX. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and show the things that I have of DMX, some of my favorite stuff from DMX. And, I'll go ahead and get into it, but just had to say that. So rest in peace to DMX, one of the greatest. I'll try to, have a little more enthusiasm. Don't want it to be sad the whole time, but big respect to DMX, Rough Riders, rest in peace. I'll go ahead and get into my records first. I'll start off with his debut album that I have, and I picked these up, years ago, as I've been digging, as you all know, swap meets, Amoeba, online, etc., etc., etc. But, starting off with It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and I also want to give a disclaimer out there, too. Do not go and buy, from the people who are trying to sell these albums for $100, $200, $300 plus dollars. They will be repressed eventually. You will be able to buy them, So don't give into that, and don't, put money into the greedy people's pockets. These will be pressed again, at affordable prices. But anyways, to get off my soapbox, DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, classic, my personal favorite of DMX. Incredible album artwork. This is a really incredible album for many reasons. My personal favorite from this, honestly, it's really close between Damien and Brothers Done Started Something. Those two are really big to me. The Convo is also incredible. I mean, there's a lot of really great songs on here. I didn't even talk about the intro, Rough Riders Anthem, etc. But this is my favorite DMX album. 1998, in my opinion, is DMX's year. And this is one reason why. The second reason why would be the next album, DMX's Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. This album, I remember when I was younger, this is before I'd even listened to DMX. I was just really young at the time. Before I'd even really listened to rap, when I'd first seen this cover, I was actually kind of scared, and I thought it was gross and all that, because, it is a little scary if you're a little kid, right, if you're looking at it. But this is actually now, years later, one of my favorite album covers of all time. Shout out to Jonathan Mamian. I don't know how to say his last name, but Jonathan Mamian or Mamian. Big shout out, because this is an incredible cover. It's just so great. But anyways, dope album too. Just DMX, man. The back two. These are original pressings. Moving on to the next piece in my DMX collection would be And Then There Was X, his third album. And those two were in 1998. This would be in 1999. This is with I don't know if it's his most popular song, but definitely, if not the most, one of his most popular songs ever, which would be Party Up in Here. This song was everywhere. I remember hearing this when I was a kid. The clean version, it was really everywhere. It's still played at a lot of places. Just a classic, incredible song. And then there was X, is also a pretty dope album too. So there's the vinyl for that one. Moving on, this is, in my opinion, the most underrated album in his catalog, and the reason why I say that is because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it as much as his, in particular, his first two albums. This album is actually my second favorite DMX album, The Great Depression. I think it's very good. Also, of his first four albums, this did sell the least. So I think this is a really good album. But, maybe it didn't have as much radio appeal, but it's really, really strong stuff. Some of DMX's best material, in my opinion, is on this album, so don't sleep on it. The Great Depression, great stuff. Next up would be DMX's 2003 release, The Grand Champ. This one actually doesn't have DMX on the cover, so unlike his first four albums where DMX is in the cover some way, somehow, this one just has a dog on the cover. So The Grand Champ right here, 2003 released by DMX, also had a couple big songs on there too. Moving on, DMX is on this cover. This would be Year of the Dog again. This is 2006. So he had taken off a couple years from having his own studio, solo album. Boom, DMX Year of the Dog again. I decided to go ahead and put these in the video, although these aren't DMX albums. We all know about the Rough Riders, so I had to put this one in there. Rough Riders Volume 1, still in the open shrink, has the hype sticker on it. Put this one out. Also love the cover on the back. The back artwork is awesome for this one, so boom. Rough Riders Volume 1. And then Rough Riders Ride or Die Volume 2 right here too. I just decided to put these in this video, but I feel like DMX was very well known with the Rough Riders. He's on quite a few of the songs, so boom. Moving on, I'll go ahead and get into his singles. The first one, a lot of people may not know this, so go ahead and, as you're revisiting DMX's catalog, put this one on there too. This one's called Born Loser. This was a 1993 release, and not a lot of people know about it. It was on Rough House Columbia, if I recall. Yeah, Rough House Records. And he's had the dog, early on in his career too, so DMX... pretty dope song. I mean, like I said, not a lot of people know about it. And to think that he didn't have his first album until 1998, 5 years after, it just shows you how hard it was, to get into the rap game and, other things that were also going on in his life too. So DMX, Born Loser right there. Check that one out if you haven't. Next up, a lot of people would know this song. This would be Get At Me Dog. Really, really good song. This one's on his first album. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Incredible stuff. Stop Being Greedy's on here. Get At Me Dog Freestyle is also on here, which I'm sure a lot of people haven't heard, so peep that one out. Next up, now this is a song that's going to live forever, especially, with DMX's passing. This is classic. This is emotional. This is a great song. This is another one that I'd seen on TV. This is Slippin'. Also love the cover. Incredible song. I mean, there's not too much to say about this. I mean, there's so much to say, but you've heard it all, right? It's just an incredible piece of work by DMX. Who We Be. Now, this is one of the reasons why The Great Depression is my second favorite DMX album. This is an incredible, incredible song. I always get amped when I listen to this. I love his rhyme style on this track. The instrumental is incredible. The chorus is great. I think this is just one of DMX's best performances and great tracks in his catalog. Who We Be, so great, honestly. Next up, we got, a little more poppy, but still cool song, Get It On The Floor by DMX. I'm not as big as a fan of, Swizz Beatz' appearance on it, but DMX does come correct. So Get It On The Floor by DMX from The Grand Champ. And then... Where the Hood At. Now, this is a song that will get you amped, man. DMX made me crack a smile. Incredible song. a great anthem. Just DMX just killing it. Dude, I mean, what more can you say? If you want to get pumped up, you want to go to the gym, this is that song. And then another song in a similar vein would be X Gon' Give It To Ya, because, come on, man. These are the songs that, DMX, some of these songs are a reason why DMX is a household name to so many. Incredible stuff right here. X Gon' Give It To Ya is amazing. So good. Next up, we got a song that also a lot of people may not know. This is from the Light It Up soundtrack, if I recall. Yep. This is called Cats Don't Know. And this is also earlier on in DMX's career. Not as early as Born Loser, but this was a 1999 release. So, after, or the same year that, and then there was X was dropped. But Cats Don't Know, underrated track. Go ahead, take a listen. You're bound to like it, especially if you like DMX's earlier material. Let me know. This is a great song. Hope to put some people on if they haven't heard that one. Next up, I just talked about this, when I was showing the And Then There Was X. This is an incredible song. Party up in here, Still in the Open Shrink. Like I said, this is just one of the great songs in his catalog. Just immaculate, honestly. It's so good. Now this is another single, I Miss You, featuring Faith Evans. This is from the Great Depression album. This is another one that, touches more to DMX's softer side, his vulnerable side. DMX can be rowdy, can be a little more soft-spoken. He really is a complete artist. Next up, this is one from the Belly soundtrack. It has the Belly soundtrack, in album in stores, on the date, and then on the back it just says Belly soundtrack. Has the Hike sticker with Method Man, DMX, and Nas. This is the track, The Grand Finale. So boom, right there. Next up, I just have a couple DVDs from his collection. First off, a movie that he was in. This is Exit Wounds. I haven't seen this in a while. I do remember liking it. Steven Seagal, DMX, boom. Also, the soundtrack has one of his popular, also great songs, Ain't No Sunshine. Yeah, check this out if you haven't. That song, if you haven't heard it, which I'm sure you have, it's incredible. Belly, this is probably the most popular album he's been in, at least in the hip-hop community. This is with Nas, it's with DMX. My personal opinion, I actually don't like this movie. I know a lot of people love it. I actually think DMX is a really good actor, however. I think DMX did great in here. But as far as the actual movie, I wasn't, the biggest fan of it. But the movie, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But, the visuals, Hype Williams did great. DMX, like I said, he's a good actor. I think DMX is a good actor. I wish we'd seen him in more stuff. But Belly on DVD. And then next up, this one I actually haven't seen, so I cannot provide too much on it. But this is Angel, One More Road to Cross. I remember I bought this on Amazon like a while back, and I moved recently, and I forgot that I had this. I guess it was just like in one of my boxes. And anyways, I need to pop this one in. But Angel, One More Road to Cross, DMX. Now with the vinyl done, I'll get into the CDs of DMX that I have. Starting off, we have his debut classic, as I said, my personal favorite DMX album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Like I said, can't speak to how great this one is. Really strong, pretty long album at that, and to be honest, it's really solid stuff, man. And like I said, the anchor on this album, Brothers Unstarted Some with the Locks and Mace, is incredible. Just incredible. Listen to it if you haven't in a long time. Just so great. Moving on. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood on CD, 1998 release. Dope stuff here. The next album, like I'd said, And Then There Was X. Boom. CD. The Great Depression on CD as well. Boom. The Grand Champ, this one here is on 2 discs. I'm blanking out on what the second disc is, so I'm going to go ahead and see. This might be a DVD. Let's double check. Yeah, so it's a DVD entitled The Dog Is Out. So the first disc is the music. The second disc is titled The Dog Is Out. So this was probably like a deluxe edition. It was a U.S. pressing. I'm sure I've seen The Dog Is Out, but dude, it must have been like years ago, like over 10 years ago. Next up, Year of the Dog again, another 2-disc CD here. This one, it has, the music, and then on the back it has a bonus DVD also, so very similar to the Grand Champ. Boom, and then boom. Next up, so this is one that I didn't have on vinyl. I don't believe they did press a vinyl for this. This is DMX's album Undisputed. This would be his last official album release, if I recall. So this is Undisputed right here. It also has 2 discs. The first disc being 20 tracks. The second disc having a bonus DVD with music videos and behind-the-scenes footage. So, the past 3 releases, this one and the previous 2 have CDs and DVDs. I mean, I don't believe all pressings had that, so you just, had to go ahead and buy that deluxe edition. This last CD that I'm going to show, or not last CD, but the last in this pile, is called DMX Mixtape. This is not an official release. It's got, a bunch of songs on it, 12 songs on it. They have, features on it, from Hell Rel, Mobb Deep, AZ, Keith Murray, but it's not an official release. So I remember buying this online a while ago for a few bucks. Boom. Moving on to some other stuff that I have. I touched up on this earlier, the Belly, but this is the soundtrack, so boom, right there. Next up we got, like I said, I'm just including these even though DMX isn't, in every song. I still felt necessary to add it. This is the Rough Riders Ride or Die Volume 1. Right here, Volume 2 on CD. Volume 3 in the R.I.P. Trust. And you see DMX right there. And then Volume 4, The Redemption. Boom. So shout out to Rough Riders. Next up, we got some CD singles. So these are pretty cool. This one being the Get At Me Dog. Slightly different from the vinyl, just with the color. The text and the images are the same, but the color is slightly different on the cover. Get At Me Dog, Stop Being Greedy. And then this also, like I said, has the Get At Me Dog freestyle on it, which has the locks on it. And it also has, and this is why I love these CD singles, this also has an interview with Irv Gotti on it too. So just pretty cool stuff, when you own these things, you want to make sure to study them and listen to them and everything. So DMX, Get At Me Dog. This would be a sticker jewel cover, No Love For Me. The back just has the Def Jam, label. And then, this was a pretty good song. I like this one. Next up, this is the Give 'Em What They Want. Also, sticker on the jewel case, and on the back it's got the Def Jam Recordings label. Next up, these are all J-card sleeves, or J-card cases, so they are slimmer than the standard jewel cases. Slip in here, and then a slip in here. These are both different covers. One has blue, and then the other has red. Like I said, one of the best songs in his catalog. People can argue one of the best songs in rap history. It's incredible. Incredible stuff by DMX right here. This one is single Who We Be and also We Right Here, both from the Great Depression album. Like I said, Who We Be is one of my favorite DMX songs ever. We Right Here is also really dope. Who We Be, man, I played that before this video too. It's just incredible, man. It's so good in my opinion. Like I just talked about this one, Get It On The Floor, DMX. Where the Hood At as well. Boom, boom, boom. He gave, DMX gave a hell of a lot of dope singles. If you go back to just his singles, you can see why he went multi-platinum, on a few occasions. He was very special. He knew how to move the crowd. He knew what would sell. He's a genius. And the thing is, he's probably not even trying. That's just him. DMX X Don't Give It To You, another, like I said, just a banger, incredible stuff. I mean, we can talk all day. Next up, I got his cassette tapes here. So boom, It's Dark and Hell Is Hot, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, and then there was X, and then we also got the Great Depression. These 4 albums in a row, something serious, man. DMX, woo. And then next up we got the cassette tape for Get At Me Dog right here. Boom, boom. I don't have really any singles of his on tape. I don't know how many, there are. But, that's one of them. And then this is the Get At Me Dog. This is, this pretty cool stuff right here. Yeah. Love this cover. Little Get At Me Dog, a DMX sampler. Boom. Yeah, rest in peace, man. So those are my CDs, my records, my tapes. Earlier in this video, I said that I had a book that I wanted to talk about that I had owned that, talked about DMX. It was like the autobiography of him and really showed you, a lot of his upbringing, his troubled past, etc., and really showed you a little bit more, to DMX and how he is, who he is. And that would be here, right here, Earl, the autobiography of DMX. This was released not early in his career, but still early enough. I believe it was like in 2002 or so, because Smokey Fontaine, the guy who wrote the book, his quote is in July 2002 here. So it was either released in 2002 or 2003. I don't remember. I don't really want to search through the book. But really, really great read. I haven't read it in a few years, but, if you want to know more about DMX, if you want to know more about, his life and, the troubles that he went through, this is a really good read. Because I remember after reading this, I had felt sorry. And I was also like, well, you can never judge someone just from what you see or what you hear. There's always more than what you see on TV or hear on the radio. So that's a great read. I hope they restock it. I'm sure it's all sold out, but I'm hoping that they restock that and print more copies. Next up, I have a few magazines that he's featured on the cover. First off, I want to show this Vibe issue. This was in October 2001. It was released. Awesome cover right there. Next up, we have him on Double XL. This is the February 2002 edition of DMX on the cover. And then I got the rest would be Source magazines. I got a DMX in January of 1999 right here. Boom. Love this cover too. Moving on, February of 2000. DMX on here. Looking a little wild with the hoodie. Looking like he's going to rob you. DMX, man. And then the last magazine that I have of DMX is October of 2001. Boom here. But this is a cartoonish cover of DMX. So boom. So there you guys have it. My DMX collection, the magazines, the books, the CDs, vinyl tapes. Wasn't an easy video to make. To the people who wanted to see my collection of DMX, here it is. If you have any questions of anything you saw, feel free. I'll go ahead and answer your questions. But just a reminder that, don't give in to the people selling things for so much money. It's not worth it. It'll be repressed eventually. There's plenty of ways to support DMX, and his family. I'm sure, things will pop up that you can buy and support or other things that you can do. If I find of anything, I'll go ahead and link them on my Instagram or YouTube in future videos that I do. But go ahead, keep supporting his music, keep the legacy alive. DMX is, here to stay forever via music and entertainment. Rest in peace to a true legend, and this one really hurt. So, rest in peace. And like I said, if you need anything from me about any information, go ahead and ask, and I'll go ahead and do that for you. But I appreciate everyone watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.